Hey, what's up? So, wanted to do a quick update video. A few weeks ago, I kind of got an inkling to do something else, start another project, what have you. Really had my eye on getting another Florida pine snake. So, I decided I'm going to start building out an enclosure. Basically, how I set it up for the Ackie monitor, but this one's just going to be a little bit shorter, and it's not going to have as much of a dam on it as the other one did. And to be completely honest, after I got about 3/4 of the way done with it, I decided this is pretty much suitable for an Ackie monitor itself, anyways. Maybe it's not mostly 100% ideal like the other one is, but this one will definitely do. So one of my problems with having a pair of Ackies, right? Mine's a male for sure. One of the problems with them is you don't necessarily want to keep them together. Sometimes you can and they get along and that's great, but you have to prepare for the possibility that they're not and that you're going to have to separate them. And so for me, that provided the obstacle of, well, now I got to build a whole nother cage. And after the time and effort that it took to build the other one, I didn't really want to do that again. But it's been pretty close to 2 years since I did the other build. So uh, yeah, so here we go. I decided I'm not going to do a pine snake. After putting in that effort, I decided I'm going to find an adult female Ackie monitor, which is what I did. She's not in here yet. She will not be here for 2 more days, and when she does get here, I will be doing an actual unboxing because I've never done one of those before, and it's not that big of a deal. But I'm going to open her up on camera and introduce her to her new home. She is listed as a subadult female, but she was 18 inches long, and my grown male is about 20 inches long, so she's probably pretty close to ready to breed. She looks nice and chunky, great coloration on her, so I'm going to get them in, get them both nice and healthy, and then introduce them to each other maybe a month or two after she gets in, and see how they get along. But obviously, also I want to make sure that she's actually of size, like she was, you know, like they said she was. You can't really verify anything through a camera. So I'll get her in person, see what her health looks like, and see if she looks like she could be ready to breed. And we'll quarantine for a little bit, make sure she's healthy, and go from there. But here's the enclosure. So it's 5 feet long. It is 30 inches from the front to the back. So it's a 5 foot by 30 inch base or a floor plan, whatever you want to call it. And it is a 2 foot high enclosure. Originally, I was going to stack it on top of the other enclosure, but I decided that the way that I've been setting these up is just going to be too much weight, right? And ideally, you do want to have that, 10 plus inches of substrate, right? And I don't have that going on here. I don't, straight up, because I was building this for a snake, and then I kind of decided I was going to change it up. But what we do have is we have about 3.5 to 4 inches of bioactive substrate. I took isopods and springtails from the male enclosure downstairs, and I've introduced them in here. The substrate is a mix of topsoil. I'd say it's probably about 55% topsoil, 45% sand, and then kind of like a 5% sphagnum moss. There's some like oak leaf and twigs and stuff like that mixed in there too. Not quite like an ABG mix, but pretty close to it. And one thing that I've learned seems to work fantastically for keeping the humidity level right is I've been covering the mulch and or covering the soil and this mini pine bark mulch. And I mean, honestly, aesthetically, I like it. It's not necessarily accurate to where they live. I don't really care. I like it. It's clean. They seem to do perfectly fine on top of it, or at least he does. People have been keeping this stuff in reptile cages forever. It works great. It's locking moisture in better than ever before. Like, I'm not dumping a gallon of water a week into my male's enclosure. Like, I put a gallon of water in there 3 weeks ago, and I've just lightly misted it down in the mornings, and it's holding. It's holding perfectly. So I don't really see a point in not doing this just to have a dirt look or whatever. And like, if that's what you want to do, that's great. This is just how I'm rolling, and for me, it's working. And I'm excited to see how this female does, because as you can see, my approach is that I have a big tote over there on the left. I think it's like an 80 quart tote or something. It's big. It's about 2 feet long. It's about 14 inches tall and about 16 inches wide. And I have it filled with about 75 to 80 pounds of a topsoil, sand, and peat moss mix. And I'm going to show y'all how I have that set up here shortly. But going over the enclosure again, so I have my little reach stack, And these are just nice acrylic I got cut. But I have a reach stack in here, which is a few layers. And it does go down below the substrate, right? But it goes all the way down to the floor. And you can't tell, but I took one of the Riptop basic hides, and it is underneath here. So it provides a little tunnel, and it's supported. So she can go in and out of it all she wants to. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. There you go. She'll be able to go into that, out of that all she wants to, and it should retain some type of moisture throughout the day as well. Hey buddy, go either downstairs to your room or to your mom. Daddy's making a little video real quick. So a little bit of moisture in there, nice and secure, and it'll be nice and warm too. So a good spot for the middle of the day. Got a little water bowl. Now, a lot of people have been using ones big enough for them to bathe in, and I have done that for the last year, and I've just noticed that my male literally never, not once, will get in it. He hates water. I don't even see him drink. I know he does. I'm always gonna have water available, but I don't see him drink. So I'm done offering a giant tub of water. There's no point in it for him. He's doing okay with his sheds. I've had a little bit of issue with it on at the tip of his tail. I found some stuff online about using a little bit of coconut oil, so I've tried that. And it worked wonders. I'd say within 2 days, it all fell off, and you know, he's doing great now. But up in here, I have the Arcadia T5 light setup, and then I'm just running a 45 watt par 38 halogen as my main source of heat. So we are getting about 135 right here, which is, you know, it's right in there where you want it. Everything online says 130 to 160. I feel like 160 is ridiculous, but who knows. The upstairs of my house is always at 78 degrees during the day, so I'm not really too worried about this enclosure getting cool by any stretch. Obviously, we have plenty of ventilation around the enclosure. The inside is completely dry locked and sealed with silicone, 100% silicone. So this thing should be holding up for the long haul. So let me go ahead and show y'all what I did with this tub, though. It's not gonna seem like a whole lot, but it'll give some people some ideas. So I got this just to hold down a little extra weight on the top, because what I did is I took some of the latches off because I wanted this to be easy to access. So her access point is going to be this 3-inch hole, and she's going to be able to go in, and she's going to be able to get down on top of some cork bark that I have in there, and that'll help her get back out as well. And as you can see how I have it in here, so it's completely filled to the top. There is a little tunnel that's kind of started. I use cork bark. She's going to have to make her own tunnel out of that. And then there's the other piece of cork bark, and she'll be able to use that to assist herself on getting out. But that's why I only put 3 latches on here, because, you know, it's really hard to get to those if you got them sitting there like that. But I got them kind of flush to the back. And then, like I said, you got that little towel right there. Maybe to help hold in some heat or whatever. Maybe a little humidity, because it's helping keep that seal down. Either way, it's in a good spot. I think I got sufficient wood in here to climb on. I got a little pothos in there. We'll see how it holds up. Surprisingly, the one of my male's enclosures held up fantastically, and it started growing and spreading. So that's a good sign. But this is what we have going on for the female that's showing up in the future, and pretty excited to get her in and see how she's doing. As you can see from my stand, I wanted to cheap out. I think I got like 95 bucks total into the stand. All I did was some cinder blocks and some wood from Home Depot. And as a lot of y'all know, the price of that stuff is skyrocketing. I think grand total, this entire enclosure, everything, I've probably got right around 500 bucks into it. So still, you know, a little bit cheaper to make your own setups. Maybe more durable. I don't know. We'll see in the long run. I'm not really a big fan of the bigger PVC enclosures, but only because from what I've seen, they can tend to sag and whatnot. But they will hold humidity better. They hold heat better. Allegedly, they're more durable. I don't know. I kind of like the old school building it yourself kind of way. And this is kind of where I'm at with it. So whenever she gets in here, I'll do an update video with her. And then I've got, you know, 4 or 5 other small projects going on, and I'm going to make a video and update for those as well as we go along in it. I'm going to do one for the male Ackie monitor soon too. I got a group of tortoises in. I got a, I don't really want to call it a failed terrarium, but somebody was working on a terrarium and they kind of gave up in the middle of it because they they have to move, so they decided it wasn't worth trying to finish and packing up and moving. So I got that too. Just some fun stuff I'm getting into, and you know, I got a little extra time, and it's been good. So I'll keep it posted. I do this channel for me and just other hobbyists to be able to enjoy and come up with other ideas. And I'm not really trying to blow the channel up. I just like to be able to have stuff to look back on at some point and you know, contribute to the hobby. Anyway, take it easy.